What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bz, and we're gonna tell y'all just like a little quick, message slash, So, what I had got today was internalizing the expression. So, if you look up what internalizing means, it means to make part of one's nature by learning. It says or unconscious assimilation. Wait, we don't need the first one. Internalizing means to make either an attitude or behavior part of one's nature by learning it's just okay. It's weird. Just by learning. So internalizing. So by learning things, you bring it into part is bringing it to you. So I feel like this is something that I feel like is important for you know us to learning how to build up expressing certain things. So it's like the same way that we talk out, we have to talk inwards to ourselves. And a lot of times it's like, we neglect talking inwards because we're always thinking. So we never have time to slow down to become aware that, you know, maybe there are certain things that we are internalizing or certain things that we are like neglecting or not just putting focus on, right? So when you turn the expression that you have outwards to people or other things, and you turn that expression towards yourself, it's like you building your self-talk space. So it's like you're learning how to now talk with self. And I know you probably think like talk to myself about what, and it's like, well, what are things that you want to talk about to others that you feel like, because you think about it, think about when you're thinking those thoughts or you're having thoughts with yourself, right? And it's not necessarily that all your thoughts are negative, right? But then you'll have that little voice that's kind of like, no, do this, do that, right? But if you really could like have that self-talk space with yourself to kind of give you the good guidance to, make more right decisions or right choices, you will kind of see like, okay, wow, like me talking to myself kind of got me through how I was thinking negatively about something, right? I was able to kind of like, because you think about a lot of times, like, let's say if you have a certain thought about stuff, right? And then you go to other people, it's like you're listening to what they have to say about how they feel, right? But you're not really sitting there having an expression with yourself about how you really feel. I'm trying to think, for example. Okay, so for example, right, if it was something that made me mad, I would kind of be like, for me to go to somebody else, does it make me like? So imagine if I was somebody else, and I was kind of just like, hey, so such and such happened, right? And this made me feel this way, right? And then, all right, so the other expression of the other person would probably be like, they'll probably be like, no, you were not wrong, da 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 da. I don't know why I did that, like, because I feel like low key it is irrelevant, but I feel like because you depend on it so much, it just seems like it's common. But if you used to do that with yourself, and kind of be like, bro, like that shit pissed me off. That shit kind of made me mad. Or like, it's like you in your head, you low key ask yourself like, why? Like, why are you mad? Like, why did it really affect you that way, right? Because most people not gonna ask you like, why did it affect you? They just be like, damn, what happened? Or like, damn, that's wrong. That's but that's a personal thing. Like when you're talking to yourself, all the stuff that you feel like you try to say to other people, like, or even if it's the things that you can't say, or like the conversation that you can't have, right? But when you have those conversations with yourself, even if it gets to a point where it's like, all right, boom, I got another example. So imagine if it's like something you want to do, right? Or like an opportunity you want to take on, or like just something that's like you got to put, you doing. Let's say you be in your head, right? You thinking, nah, I shouldn't probably do that. Nah, like you thinking a whole negatively, right? Because you thinking, because even if you think you thinking is low key you talking to yourself, but you're not aware that that voice inside of you has a mind of its own as well, and that's your mind. So, but it's about really coming to it into a perspective to where you don't go from the sabotaging type energy, but you go into it from a hard perspective type energy. So, how I was saying, like, I could be talking to myself about something about, like, damn, I want to do this, I want to do that. have that one self-talk that'll be like, no, I'm not good enough for that. No, I won't be great. It won't work out for me. You gotta dismantle that disbelieving, the doubting self-talk. You gotta let that part go, because if once you hold on to the doubting part of the self-talk, it's like you see that you don't really go towards the things that you probably wanted to go towards, or you don't really give in to certain opportunities that you wanted to take, or you don't really, you know what I'm saying, because you psych yourself out, before you think all negative before you think or tell yourself positive, like, no, it probably will work out, you don't have the optimism. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just saying, like, to be more aware of, when you are blocking yourself by the way that you talk to yourself, or by the way that you express certain things to yourself. And that could be through thoughts, through you actually looking yourself in the mirror, talking to yourself, or it could be literally when you just going through thinking about certain stuff, you kind of like psych yourself out, and you tell yourself I don't know. I just feel kind of gotta take it on here, and yes, I think it's in the tub, okay? Cause like, why not? Internalizing is maybe something that, okay, whatever I'm about to say to you, right? Internalizing is definitely something that I think we all need to work on, because there's a lot of things I think that's programmed into us that, we're not really aware of. Like, I seen this video earlier that was talking about how, like, basically, like, you're born into other people's realities. Like, so your parents have you, like, they can only give you and treat you, like, from what they know. So it's like, yeah, you probably would have wished you had a better upbringing, or you would have got raised a different way, but it's like you didn't, So you gotta understand that, it comes to a point where it's like you're not supposed to follow in the same footsteps just because that's what you was taught. You're supposed to look at that like, damn, okay, I see what they had to go through, but now I'm in a whole different position to where I don't have to experience the same thing. I can experience something much better. And then it's like you think about your next generation of kids, like, okay, how would I want them to live? How would I want them to grow up? And sometimes we can't control everything that we want to, control. Sometimes you have to let go of the flow of everything and to understand that, certain stuff gonna work out, certain stuff ain't gonna work out. Certain lessons will be learned, certain lessons won't be learned. Certain experiences will be had, certain won't. But that doesn't mean that you should just stop, still trying to push forward, still trying to go after these things that, are good for you. I know, y'all, it seems like I'm rambling, but it's my first message in a while. I kind of took a break from doing my videos because I just really needed to. I need to get back to me, because I felt that doing the videos, I like doing them, but I just know me, it's but this is more my lane. Me talking, me literally explaining these situations, helping people understand how to be better, helping people understand how to transform and shift their energy from the negative things that they were taught, or the negative things that was bestowed upon them, into these positive aspects of themselves that they can live with forever. And it might not seem like nothing up front when you first hear it, because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, work on myself, yeah, but then it's like you kind of see where when you don't do the work, you see how you repeat the patterns, or you see how you have a negative self-talk, or you see how you downplay things that you really want, or you don't tap into truly what it is that your heart feels, or you don't really follow your first instincts of your mind, so you keep going through experiences where you're like, damn, I should listen to my mind the first time. So there's a lot of experiences that I feel like a lot of us are having right now, and I think it's because of a lot of things that we have internalized. But right now, it's like our focus is clearing out the things that we have internalized, to start internalizing the things that actually can help us, the things that can actually allow us to become better. And so that's why the topic of this was, internalizing the expression. So the same way that we talk out to others and we judge everybody else, and we have to have that same voice for ourselves, but inside of ourselves, and not really be afraid. Because the thing is like when you're really doing a lot of your shadow work, and you're really doing like a lot of your self healing, you really gotta look at yourself for who you are, and not try to look at yourself as like, oh, I'm not that bad. Because when you do the oh, I'm not that bad, that means you still stand in your ego. Your ego don't want to be hurt. That's why the truth hurts sometimes. That's why it hurt when you hear somebody talk about how you, like, it could be some random ass shit. Like I've been in experiences where I've heard like they probably was even talking directly to me, but something they said related in a certain way, and it kind of made me just be like, damn. But then I had to be real with myself. It's like, okay, are you still being that? Like, yeah, you're not trying to be that person, or yeah, you're not trying to stay in that energy, right? But are you still in that? Are you still doing that? And I think that's the part that you gotta be honest with yourself about, because I feel like it's easy to downplay like who you are, or like it's easy to downplay who you're trying to be, when it's like, because it's like this, boom. If certain people don't know you, then they don't know the true nature of you, right? So of course it's easy to kind of like fake the funk with certain people and act certain ways. But when it's people that really know you, it's harder for you to kind of like step into that lane of like, okay, yeah, I am wrong in this position, or I do realize that this is. So I feel like it's just a thing that like we're all going through right now. That everything with the retrogrades, especially Mercury going on right now too. It's a Mercury retrograde going on. So like a lot of things is coming up from the past. Like a lot of things is coming up from the past is coming back. And I think, everybody's been in this illusion that it's only people, but no, it's also situations and thoughts and like things that you have experienced that are coming back up. And I think that's why it's really heavy on everybody, because it's a lot of stuff that people have not been focusing on, people have not been putting work into. So now it's like, boom, it's hitting them so hard, or it's hitting them in a point where everybody's like, damn, like everybody feel low-key lost. But I mean, you're not lost. It's just the fact that you're realizing that, maybe certain decisions or certain things you told yourself, or certain like beliefs that you felt, you realizing like it don't hold weight no more, or like when it did hold weight, it was a good excuse. But now it's like you really seeing that your life, you can't really have no more excuses for the way that you live.